Minister, you're very welcome this evening, and I very much welcome this debate, this opportunity to speak on this debate, and I commend the repeated statements of solidarity and the actions of this government and previous governments in relation to this issue. And it feels like here we go again, doesn't it? Again we're here discussing how a foreign government's actions affects us as a people. They have for generations abused this island, and because of that, I find it hard to see a time as we as a people will not be continuously traumatised by their actions. Time and time again, we see the British government throw their weight behind a decision in relation to something so integral to this island, and we have to react. They break international agreements, they talk out both sides of their mouths, and we stand here to outline our anger, our frustration and our upset. 'Tis a rare day that every party in this island agrees on something, and it highlights the importance of it and the importance of creating an agreed pathway forward, and we thought we had it. Over the course of more than 20 years, successive UK governments have failed to put in place a comprehensive set of mechanisms to deal with the legacy of the conflict in Northern Ireland. The Stormont House Agreement in 2014 was completed after lengthy negotiations, and it offered a route to finally deliver on promises made to victims and to comply with binding international legal obligations. However, despite the commitments to introduce the enabling legislation, the current UK government now has acted again, unilaterally abandoning agreements that they signed up to. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? We as Irish people, we know we can't trust the British government or the British establishment. We've known that since the 13th century, the reneged and the Treaty of Limerick, so it's really no surprise. The British government's legacy proposals are not acceptable. It is not acceptable that they wish to hand out amnesties for those who committed murder. It's not acceptable that no individual group, organisation or state forces or agents can be immune from prosecution. They have unilaterally decided for themselves how they believe how best to deal with the past, as they call it, the past, but it's not the past, it's people's present. And the people of this island, and more importantly, the victims and the families who live with this unknown over their heads and in their hearts, deserve to know the truth about what went on. They deserve access to justice, deserve answers. No matter how hard those answers are to take, the truth must be given. It was a dirty war, and I understand why the British government want to leave behind their actions and not be accountable. They did in fact turn a blind eye to many things when it was convenient for them to do so, and in many ways they fuelled the violence, either by committing it themselves, but by many proven examples of state-sanctioned violence, and also with their many double agents. They fuelled it, they facilitated so much. And if you're a paranoid person, you might think that it is convenient for some parties, for the British government, to keep people in emotional states, keep people upset, keep people dealing with their past, keep people traumatised, because that keeps people at standstill, not being able to move on, and that's convenient for some sectors. Over the past 100 years, many people in this country had to grow old without their husbands, their wives, parents, brothers, sisters, aunts or uncles. There is no hierarchy of pain or heartache, and there's no hierarchy of justice or truth. No one person's truth is worth more than another's. There's secrets and hurt around every single corner in this country. Violence has caused desperate hurt. And the secrets behind those violence cause endless hurt, bitterness and an inability to move on and grieve properly. The families need trust and they need justice, or truth and justice. They deserve the truth, and the truth must come from every single side. Being from North Louth, I'm constantly reminded of Jean McConville and Tom Oliver. Somebody somewhere is there. They can give answers to the McConville family, and yet they don't. Somebody is out there and they can give answers for the Oliver family and the vicious murder of Tom, and yet they don't. And the British government can provide truth, they can give answers, and yet it keeps on refusing to do it. They perpetuate the cover-ups of their actions. And we need truth from everyone. We need to be able to move on together, no matter how hard that moving on is, because we all have answers to give, including the Irish state. The Republic of Irish state has not been innocent in all the trauma on this island either. So we will never heal on this island with those gaping wounds of betrayal, distrust, heartache. And if these secrets remain to be left open, I think we'll all remain in a constant state of trauma.